Craving something sweet, savory, and satisfying? Kuya Arnell's cooked sweet pork sausage is your new go-to. Fully cooked, perfectly seasoned, and made with love. Just heat, serve, and enjoy. Available now on Amazon. Taste the tradition. Get your crunch on with Kuya Arnell's pork chicharrones. Crispy, airy, and exploding with flavor. This is the real deal snack you didn't know you needed. Grab yours on Amazon today.
Welcome to Why Did You? A podcast that celebrates the inspiring journeys of Filipinos across the globe. From mastering their expertise to overcoming powerful life experiences and succeeding in business, entertainment, sports, music, acting, and politics. These stories are filled with resilience, hope, and unstoppable Filipino spirit. Hello everyone, welcome to Why Did You with Arnel Arrieta. From the courtroom to the boxing ring, our guest today has fought battles not just with words, but with principles, precision, and passion. He's an esteemed lawyer and internationally recognized IBF boxing referee. He has stood at the center of some of the most intense moments in the sport, making split-second calls that can define the fighter's future. But beyond the suit and the referee's shirt, he's also a husband, a father, and a man with dreams that transcends borders. In this episode of Why Did You, we uncover the story of attorney Danrex Tapdasan, a man on a mission to leave a mark in both legal world and the sweet science of boxing. Hello, attorney Danrex Tapdasan. Welcome to Why Did You?
Mabuti naman, boss, bro, Arnel. Alam mo naman, sa Pilipinas, medyo umuulan-ulan, pero sa tingin ko, itong ulan na ito, this is blessings para sa atin lahat. Alam mo naman tayo, very positive sa mga lahat na nangyayari. And I hope ikaw rin
Correct.
dyan sa US, doing well. And
We go further, no? I would like to thank my friend attorney Danrex Abdasan for my jacket for today's interview, an Ivy jacket exclusively from yours. I want you to listen to his story. You're gonna learn a lot from him. It will motivate and inspire you. Could you please tell us your background when you were a child? How did this all start?
Arnel, this has been my story. It's been very consistent since from the very beginning. Started with my dad. He was a passionate aficionado of boxing in our little town of Aurora in Zamboanga del Sur. And if I remember it right, I was around 5 years old, preschool. And at first, it was just a father-son, tagging along without any, with nothing really significant. Sama-sama lang, di ba? Tatay, tapos yung anak mo, 5 years old, halika, sama ka, gusto mo bang sumama? It started that way. And then, alam mo ba, Arnel, na it came to a point that I had to choose whether or not I will play with my friends on a Saturday or I will take a nap, because my dad would bring me along in a boxing event in our little town of Aurora in Zamboanga del Sur in Mindanao, and I should not sleep in the middle of the show, and the show will be finished like midnight. So
Let me just cut you quick,
Okay.
attorney. Your dad, what does he do during the boxing fight? Was he a referee? What's the reason why you guys are going to the boxing fight?
It turned out that those fights were unsanctioned fights. I observed my dad would sometimes sit on the judge's chair, and
As a judge. Okay.
yeah, but as a judge, but everything's not organized, not regulated. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, it could be a start of something like a beginner boxers, like a small town game. But of course, I'm sure that the
No, I'll
safety of
cut you
the
there,
players are
Arnel.
concerned.
No, bro, these are not young fighters. These are established fighters. I don't know how they organize these shows wherein
Uh-huh.
professional fighters, they fight for 10 rounds, 8 rounds, 6 rounds.
Wow.
These are not newbies. You know, I can observe that these fights, what I can observe is that these fights were organized and there were a lot of gambling, going on while they were fighting. I don't know what's.
A lot of people
Have you
are
seen
betting,
some
are
movies?
wagering.
Yeah, wagering money for their fighters, and it's crazy because looking back, I would realize, oh my God, if it happened today, we would have been raided or something, landed in jail. But I was a 5-year-old kid. I was just going tagging along. So it was something that I am really amused how I started and where I am now. That's how,
So
like,
imagine at 5 years old, you are already exposed to those boxing fights and games, and you
mm,
are in front of the ring, watching those two
mm,
boxers like hitting each other, getting hit in the
mm,
face, in the chest.
what you call it, like, it's like a normal boxing fight like today, except that the referee is somebody who was a former boxer who was
Okay.
paid maybe a few pesos, and these judges are maybe just given like soft drinks, soda, and a little biscuit.
So from 5
You
years,
would be crazy.
so from 5 years old until how old were you when your dad was taking you to the game?
Say the whole of my grade school years, we would be attending those shows. But it started when I was 5 years old, the innocent age of 5. I can still remember vividly what would happen because I'll go back to what I said about having to choose between taking a nap on a Saturday afternoon after lunch or play with my friends. One Saturday, my dad tagged me along in the fights, and because I played the whole day, maybe around 9 p.m. I slept in the venue. It's normal for us, like kids. You would already be tired at that time, right?
Yes.
With the whole day playing.
Already late.
But the fights was finished until like 1 a.m. or past midnight. So
Wow.
my dad had no choice but to carry me and walk home. The day after, my dad really told me, son, the fight's finished and you're asleep at the venue. I will leave you there. I will be awake until the end of the fight, and we will go home walking, and my dad will be happy and I will be happy. So that's what happened. And it started like that.
Was there a time that did you ever try to put on those boxing gloves and start sparring or fighting too?
That's a funny question, Arnel. My
Yeah.
relatives, neighbors, close friends
Uh-huh.
would laugh at that question because would you believe, Arnel, and maybe your viewers and followers would be shocked. This will be the first time I will reveal this secret of mine.
Mm.
Are you ready for the secret?
Yes, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yes. My secret is I've never been into a fight myself.
Wow. For real, it's so ironic that you're a referee who always stop people fighting, but you never even experience like sparring or boxing.
Sparring, street fight, rumble. I have never been into a fight. Never been into a fight.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's good.
fights that but it's not not fist fights, not rumbles, not physical altercation, even pushing and shoving, nothing. I've never had any physical altercation,
Experience.
even up to pushing and
Because you're a
shoving,
good
nothing
man.
like that.
You're a good man.
No,
You're a good man, and you're a person with
I will
patience
not.
as well.
I will not admit that. I'm not I'm not an angel. You know what I
Alright.
would try to tell myself. You know what I will
Yes.
brand myself.
Yeah. What I want to hear.
I'm a little coward. I'm the coward
Mm.
of the county. I don't like getting hit.
In
That's even the reason why, Arnel, that until now you would be surprised that I'm very friendly. I've never had any fraternity.
Oh,
Would you
okay.
believe? because I hate
I do.
I hate the physical pain. And all our
Mhm.
friends with fraternities, I would tell them, wow, I respect all of you, man, because I am so afraid of those physical pain. Even
Mhm.
a small injection. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to feel the pain, physical pain.
No, it's just
I,
maybe you're only protective of yourself. That's why.
maybe I know my limitations.
Correct.
I'm not
Yes.
really built for that. I'm built for something
Mhm.
else other than that. In life, as you may know, we have our forte, the greatest fears, or the
Yeah, that's
weaknesses,
normal.
right?
That's normal for everyone.
Yeah, we have each. I'm sure I'm sure you have that kind of that, like my greatest fear, or my greatest weakness versus
Mhm.
your greatest strength,
Mhm.
right? it's
Yeah.
it's it's normal to have that. And my
Yeah,
if you
it's
ask
normal. It's
me,
normal.
my
Yes.
weakness is I don't want to get hit. I don't want to feel the physical pain, even a small needle.
I am really surprised because whether we like it or not in the future, when we go to the hospital getting checked,
No,
man,
man, I
you're gonna
fear
get
that part.
those.
Every time I do that, I fear everything. Any pinch or any unusual
Uh,
pain, I fear that.
so after that grade school, you went to high
Yeah,
school,
yeah,
and you went to college.
yeah.
Did it change your interest in boxing? Like, how did it start? Like officially? Because I know, ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Dabdazan is a lawyer in the Philippines, and he's a very good lawyer. And when did it start? Is there refereeing for boxing fully blown after you became a lawyer?
So from
Mm-hmm.
Mindanao, I moved to Cebu, and then due to some mischievous and mischievous acts on my part, I
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
transferred back to Mindanao when I was in third year high school. So
Return to sender.
I graduated high school in Mindanao, in my small town of Aurora in
Okay.
Zamboanga del Sur. And then I enrolled in Silliman University in Dumaguete City, Polsai. And then I graduated cum laude there, Polsai.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
then
You see that
yeah, that was this is a
there's
summary. And
always
then
a
all those
reason
time,
for
yeah, all those
everything. Yeah.
time, I've always been a boxing fan. And then when I started studying law in San Beda
Mm-hmm.
in the year of
Okay.
1998, I was
Mm-hmm.
still continuing to be a fan. Like I was watching
Okay.
all these fights online, on TV, on cinemas, everything. And then
Mm.
I think these are the times when Manny Pacquiao started, when I was in law school.
Oh,
The first time he fought Lelo Leduaba. If I'm not mistaken, that
oh,
was 2001. I was already third year College of Law at the time, Arnel. So you
oh.
could just imagine the boxing fan from a little boy, and now you're a third year law school student in Manila,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
there's this phenomenon becoming popular from the Philippines in the US. So Manny Pacquiao
Yes.
is the biggest inspiration for me,
Mm-hmm.
because he started his American journey in 2000, and the rest was history for the 8th division world champion, the icon that he is now. I was very happy that I am a lawyer now. This is the start of realizing my dream of becoming a lawyer. Now
Yes.
I'm still fascinated with boxing. I think this was just about the first time that he fought Juan Manuel Marquez to a draw, when he dropped him three times in the first round.
Oh.
And these are like simultaneous, Arnett. Like I can say
Mm-hmm.
my journey with boxing started with Manny Pacquiao, former senator,
Former senator. Yeah.
great person. And that's I will never forget that part, because I would remember when I was a new lawyer, Arnett, I would
Mm-hmm.
save money just to pay ringside tickets. We work just to earn those few thousands. And I would spend
Yes.
that to buy tickets. When I was in my law office in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
I had this like crazy idea. I said, why am I spending a lot of money to pay
Mm-hmm.
ringside tickets for this
Tickets.
fights when I can apply as a judge and go inside the venue for free?
Okay, as a
That was
judge
the first idea.
of the
Yeah, that
boxing,
was the first idea. Because
and
Arnel,
then what
as
happened?
yeah, Arnel, you saw my picture when I signed the roles. Does that appear to be a good body for ideally for a referee?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, my waistline was
All right.
42 inches. My weight was
Mm-hmm.
around 235 pounds, and I'm just 5'3" and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
at first, I was just thinking of becoming a judge because
Judge.
judges don't get noticed.
Mm-hmm.
The only intention was not to spend my hard-earned money to watch fights for free, and it's just the intention of being there without spending my hard-earned money because as a new lawyer, I was really struggling to make little bucks in the Philippines. And then the rest was history, as you can say.
So where did you apply as a judge? And
Okay,
when?
I applied in Games and Amusements Board, August, and then I had to go back and come back because it turned out if you deal with a government office, you need to have somebody recommending you. And that was my
So you need
problem
you need
because
like connections.
my only credential was I'm a lawyer and I
You're a
love
lawyer,
boxing.
yeah.
That's all. I'm a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I love boxing. That's all. I was a
And
30-year-old guy.
I think those are the two very important requirements that you possess. Being a lawyer, number one, and number
Mm-mm.
two, you're intelligent. You could
No,
talk to
no,
anyone.
I will not. I will not say that with all pride. What I can say is that I'm proud to say that I really love boxing, and that's all.
And you
And
like
everything will follow from there. Because if you love it, and then you will study it, even if it's difficult to study, you will try to do something that is impossible to express
yes.
your love for that particular
s-
or sport.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just that's just the
So
number one aspect that made me stay in boxing, even if I had my physical limitations. I've never been in a fight.
mhm,
I have no footwork.
mhm.
I have no athleticism. I was always the fat boy. If I show you all my childhood pictures until I became a
Mhm.
lawyer, until I signed the roles.
You know what? Whatever we have in the past, that's just part of our history. But looking
Exactly.
forward, you're a lawyer and you have the love for the sport, like the
Mm,
boxing. And for me, it's already complete. You are just waiting for the right moment for you to
mm,
shine. And
yeah.
then I know that when you said a while ago that you have
Mm.
no connections at the
Yeah, no
sports
connections
commission
at
or
the time.
something.
I'm proud to
But
say. I'm proud to say. In
mhm.
2008, I was a new
So how did
lawyer.
you get it? How did you get to be
I
a
went
judge?
back and forth. No, I went back and forth. I
Oh, you
was
did.
annoying. I was persistent. Like they had no
There you
choice.
go.
Like I was there every
Yeah.
single day. Every
That's the
single
secret,
day.
persistence. That,
Every time they tell me that, the guy is, and sometimes, there's always some guy absent. Some guy didn't come. He has lunch break. He's not here. Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
paper is, it was, and okay, I'll just come back. And then later on, or maybe 2 times a day or 3 times a day, I would come back to the office and say, and then
Did you, ladies and
the question was
yeah, go
always,
ahead, go.
sino bang kilala mo sa boxing?
Oh,
Sinong kilala mo? That's always the question. Sino bang nag-refer sa'yo? Sino bang
mm.
nagrekomenda sa'yo? And my answer is, wala po eh.
You have the persistence.
Yes.
They have they have
Yeah.
to authorize you to become a judge, but
Hmm.
I know you never gave up because
No.
of course that's the past already. But your will, your determination,
Yes,
and your
definitely.
love for the sport
Yes.
that is the primary the factors that made you to become a judge.
Yes,
So
judge.
so
Judge only.
officially,
Yes.
when did they get tired of you coming back and forth and they said that, okay, give us your paperwork so we could start
No, no, no.
doing
It
this?
didn't it didn't go that way. Not proven anything as a lawyer then. I was just a normal private practitioner. They just told me, like, after so many times that I went there and they were ignoring me, and maybe they realized, oh, this guy's a lawyer, and
Mm-hmm.
even if he doesn't have any connections or backers, as you may say, in the Philippines, it was already a disturbance in their office. I'm like a pestering, annoying guy, always there, and they were trying to get rid of me, but I will never stop. So what they did, okay,
Never stop.
here's the paper. Answer this. This is the examination for a judge, and um, just submit this. If you pass this, then we will give you your license. So judge,
All right.
I have prepared my whole life. I aced the exam. that was the only that was the only thing that I waited, because if
Mm-hmm.
you just give me a chance, no more chance.
You see
You have
that?
no more
Patience
chance
is
of
a virtue.
ignoring me, because I will ace that exam.
So you passed the exam.
I aced it.
What was the first fight that you judged a fight or a
Okay,
boxing fight?
that was November when they gave me that first license as a judge. November of 2008,
Mm.
and I was patiently waiting for my assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And January 2009, there was a show in Araneta Coliseum,
Mm-hmm.
and I was assigned to judge the very first fight, the curtain raiser. And my dream came
Mm-hmm.
true, because I think the ringside ticket for that fight, 5,000. Sabi ko, wow, ito na ang pangarap ko. Hindi na ako nagbayad ng 5,000. Mas malapit pa yung upuan ko. Kasi doon sa ring mismo, doon
Oo.
sa apron, di ba? Doon sa baba. Hindi ko nagbayad. Tapos, isa lang ang ginudge ko, pare. I only judge one fight. The first, the curtain raiser. Ba? Baka magkamali pa yung
Oh.
batang yan. Eh di, binigyan lang ako isang assignment. After that, pinaupo na ako doon sa judge chair, which was ringside. My dream came true. It was just my dream to
Uh-huh.
just sit there for free. There was nothing else that
Congratulations.
I dreamed of. That was just my dream at the time. Free.
For
So that
free.
the to watch a fight for free, and the only way was to become a judge.
Natupad na ang
Natupad ng pangarap ko. January 2009, my
hindi yung
dream came
hindi
true.
yung hindi yung natupad na ang pangarap ko na maging abogado. Hindi eh. Natupad
Hindi,
na ang pangarap
hindi.
ko na maging judge ng boxing, 'di ba?
Yung pagiging abogado was only a vehicle for me na I could use, na hindi nila ako ismulin.
Na
Imagine, if you were 30 years old and you're not a lawyer, Arnel, and you go there and you go back, you pester them, they will say, who are you, di ba? So you don't care, right? Eh, wala akong kilala eh. I even don't
oo nga.
know sino yung congressman namin at the time, o sino yung kahit man lang somebody na, kahit man lang trainer siguro ng boxing. Wala akong kilala talaga. I was out of the loop.
Oo.
I was out of the grid.
Aha.
I was just, practicing law. Wala.
Ngayon, at least yung backer mo is yung sarili mo lang,
Yun lang.
'di
Wala
ba?
talaga.
Yung
Sa totoo lang,
intelligence mo,
pare, I
yung
can say
knowledge.
that with all honesty, sincerity na. Wala talagang kilala. Wala talaga nagsabi sa GAB na kunin mo yan or direkomenda namin yan. Wala talaga. Ako lang talaga mag-isa. And then when I got that license, I was so happy. It was like the best feeling in the world. Kasi license yan pare. May pirma pa noon ng former GAB chairman noong 2008. Ano ko yan? Treasure ko yan, yung unang-una kong license. Kasi
So,
ibang klase na ito. Kumbaga, grabe na ito.
oo nga.
Oo. Oo.
That's true. Na-fulfill mo yung dream mo, 'di ba?
Yes.
Kasi
Na-fulfill na yon.
because
2009, dream come true na, Arnel. Wala na akong hahanapin pa. Kasi every time na judge ako, libre na manood ng boxing.
libre
Hindi na ako gagastos. Mag-enjoy ako eh. Kasi pag-judge ako isa. After the judge na isa, yun lang naman trabaho ko. After that, wala na.
So what
Mag-enjoy
happened?
na ako manood.
What happened being a judge? We now presently and currently we know that you're a boxing referee. How did it happen? Like from a judge to referee? The
Alam
transition.
mo, Arnel, itutuloy ko yung kwento
Go
na
ahead.
sasabihin ko tumuloy akong mag-judge. Until the time na nagja-judge na ako, wala pa rin akong bakit. Wala pa rin akong kakilala. I was still there
Mhm.
alone. So, ang nangyari sa akin, Arnel, was, even if I had a license, parang napapansin ko, hindi nila ako ina-assign.
Mhm.
After nung Araneta ko, parang wala yata akong assignment na. Sabi ko. Tapos,
Aha.
parang ang i-offer sa aking assignment, parang, pumunta ka ng Legazpi Albay. Merong assignment doon. Pumunta ka ng San Pablo, Laguna. Merong assignment doon. Tapos parang, ewan ko, parang tinetesting siguro nila ako na parang gagastos ka pa ng malaki, babayaran ka lang namin ng maliit. Magkano lang bang bayad sa judge at the time? Kung 4-rounder, 400 pesos. Kung 6-rounder, 600 pesos. At the time, 2009.
Ganon lang.
Tapos hindi nila ako binibigyan ng assignment sa Metro Manila, yung malapit sa akin. Ewan ko kung bakit. Ewan ko kung ano yung reason, but maybe it was a test for me.
Correct.
Kasi, nagugulat na nga yung misis ko noon, we had to travel to San Pablo, Laguna. Dala ko yung kotse ko, tapos, maliit lang yung kita. Parang mas malaki pa yung gastos. Sobrang laki ng gastos ko sa gasolina, sinama ko pa yung
Sa
misis ko,
pagkain.
kumain pa kami. Tapos pagdating doon, magja-judge ako, 4-rounder, 400. 6-rounder, 600. Ewan ko, parang ilang beses, parang dalawa lang yata ginudge ko. So, kumita ko ng mga 1,000.
Hindi ba
Magkano
yun,
yung
hindi ba
gasolina
yung
ko?
pwedeng hindi ba yung pwede may extension parang basketball? Hanggang 12 rounds. Hindi pwede, no?
Talagang yun ang experience ko, and my wife is
Mhm.
witness to that. Na parang sabi niya, ano ba tong
Mhm.
kalokohan na ito? Parang
Mhm.
i-assign ka sa malayo, tapos mas malaki pa yung gastos mo sa sa biyahe at sa lahat-lahat ng expenses. Tapos kaysa doon sa kinita mo na napakaliit, para bang okay, sige lang. I was still persistent. Kasi parang
Yes.
epekto pa rin yun,
Testing talaga
Arnel,
yan,
nung wala
testing.
akong kilala.
Hmm.
Oo. Kumbaga,
Okay.
it had to take away a lot of time, me being a lawyer and me being,
Mhm.
sinama ko na nga yung wife ko kasi nga, parang family man tayo, hindi naman, parang bagong kasal kami noon. So, basta, it was really, doon ang mga assignment na binibigay sa akin. Yun ang binibigay, but it's okay. Wala problema. Kunin natin kasi yun naman ang gusto ko, but parang nagbago yung, hindi na ito yung pangarap ko Akala ko ba yung pangarap ko, manonood ng
Okay.
boxing dito sa Metro Manila na libre, ringside.
Oo.
Hindi na, parang na-divert kasi parang hindi, I don't know if what were they trying to do. Kung anong assignment ibigay, di yun lang, doon lang. Tapos, isang beses, kinausap ako nung boxing chief. Ang sabi sa akin ng
Mhm.
boxing chief, Attorney Dan Rex, alam mo, mukhang mahihirapan kami magbigay na ng assignment sa iyo as a judge. Sabi ko, bakit
Mhm.
po? Sabi niya kasi, marami na tayong judges na established na. Yung seniors na ba? Yung
Mhm.
matagal nang nagja-judge.
Mhm.
Tapos,
More
sabi niya,
experience,
as of
yeah.
this time, more experience than me, sabi ng boxing chief, kung magja-judge ka lang talaga, baka hindi ka namin talaga ma-assign. Pasensya ka na. Kasi, iuunahin namin i-assign yung mga may experience na. Kasi, kaunti lang ang fight. Sabi niya, kaunti lang ang fights, hindi na namin ma-allocate. Kung i-assign ka pa namin, masasacrifice yung mga luma namin na mga veteran judges. So, sana maintindihan mo.
Veteran
Maayos
judges.
naman yung pagkakasabi. Tapos sabi ko,
Mhm.
paano po yan? Sabi niya,
Mhm.
why not mag-referee ka na lang? I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe that was a
so
trap. It was a trap kasi
it
ang
came
taba
from
ko
them.
Oo, kasi ang taba ko
Okay.
pare. Ang taba ko pare. Parang it was an impossible condition. Alam nila hindi ko kaya. I was also clueless. Sabi ko, hindi ko talaga kaya to. Parang I was already trapped also. Sabi ko, wala na.
Aha.
Trap tayo dito. Kasi wala na eh. End of the line na to.
Parang
Baka hindi na ako i-renew ng
parang
license.
constructive dismissal yung nilang gawin, no?
Arnel, you're still a
Ah,
lawyer. Mukhang meron pa rin yung
hindi
mo
na.
yung labor code mo
Hindi.
nandyan pa rin
Inisip ko lang na they want to get rid of you, but in a legal
Ah,
way.
correct.
And we know this is gonna be
You
very
said that,
impossible for you
You
to
said that, Arnel.
perform.
You said that, not me, ha? Ikaw nagsabi niyan, hindi ako.
Yeah, I said it. I said it. That is according to what I analyze. But
But,
nagkamali po sila. Nagkamali
kamali
po
pa rin sila.
sila.
Nagkamali pa rin
Ah,
sila. Kamali pa rin sila kasi ang ginawa ko, Arnel, was,
hmm.
sabi ko, ganun po ba? So, kailangan ko po mag-referee para ituloy yung license ko kasi itong judge license ko, baka hindi na magamit dahil hindi nyo na ako pasay. Yes. Sabi ko, lawyer tayo, Arnel. Parang cross-examination.
Okay, okay.
Tama po ba? Ganun. Tama po ba na kapag ka nagtuloy akong mag-judge, hindi nyo na ako ma-assign dahil konti lang ang fights at galing sa inyo mismo na hindi na ako mabibigyan ng assignment. Tama po ba? Cross-exam na. Sabi ko. At ang wala na akong ibang option kung hindi maging referee para ma-assign ninyo ako sa boxing fight. Tama po ba? Tama. Okay. Sige po. Sige po. I'll take the challenge. Mag-ano na po
Okay.
ako. Mag-apply na po akong referee. Gulat yung yung boxing chief eh. Parang I can see in his eyes na parang bang nagulat siya na hindi niya in-expect na oo ko kasi pre, kanihap 235 pounds, 42-inch waistline tapos payag maging referee. Nagulat siya kasi wala akong choice eh.
Mm-mm.
I had no choice and I had to do it. Again, the rest was history.
You started being a referee.
Hmm.
Now, what was your very first experience a inside a boxing ring as a referee? Iba na to.
October 3, 2009. Cuneta
Alright.
Astrodome.
Okay.
Curtain raiser ulit. Yung pinakauna ulit, yung wala pang tao. Yung wala pang audience. Wala pang audience. Kasi
But this time, you're inside of the ring now. You are not only watching the fight,
yes.
you are not counting
Yes.
the punches, but this time,
Yes.
you are a member of the love triangle inside the ring.
Exactly. Exactly.
You officiated as a referee. From judge to referee, it's gonna be a
Yes.
different perspective.
Yeah.
Dahil ikaw yung first sight talaga and you control the game. So, sabi mo nga, kayo yung unang-unang fight. How long did it last? Yung unang fight?
Siguro mga 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Ano, na-knock out agad yung
30 seconds. Knock out agad yung kalaban. Tapos hindi na nakatayo.
knock
It was very easy. Ang ginawa ko lang,
And
pagbagsak,
yun ang naging unang
down.
desisyon mo.
Down. Siyempre, ganun yung dynamics eh. Down. Tapos yung nakatayo,
Mhm.
go to the neutral corner. Pag nasa neutral corner na siya, tutingin ka sa knockdown timekeeper. Meron na, nag-start na kasi siyang mag-count nung natumba eh. Pag sinabi mong down,
Mhm.
ang rule is yung knockdown timekeeper dun sa baba. Nagsisimula na siyang mag-count. 1,
Simula sila.
2. So, ikaw naman, syempre, hindi mo agad bibilangan kasi nga, sasabihin mo dun sa nakatayong fighter, pumunta ka dun sa neutral corner. So, it will take you like 1 or 2 seconds to do that. And then,
Mhm.
titingnan mo yung down fighter, tapos, after that, i-assess mo siya. Tapos titingin ka sa knockdown timekeeper. Pagtingin ko sa assessment ko sa down fighter, nakita ko, tulog na siya. Tulog na eh. So wala na, hindi ko na nakuha yung count. Gunmano na agad ako. Tulog na eh.
Mhm.
So wala, yun lang, 30 seconds lang. Tapos, my dream came true again. My new dream came true.
Diba?
Nakakatawa naman.
Diba?
Ganun lang. October 3, 2009.
Maraming dream. Ladies and
Every dream.
gentlemen,
Yeah, a dream. Every
this
step of the way, dream.
episode, I wanted to let you know, this episode is full of dreams that are fulfilled.
Coming true.
So
Every
there's more.
fulfillment
Listen
of
to this.
dreams.
This is going to be a series of fulfillment of dreams, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
How does it
Yes.
feel standing between two fighters, knowing every decision you make could change your career? Critical eh. Sabi nga nila, referee's decision is final. Correct?
Yes.
So how does it feel? nasa gitna ka ng dalawang naglalabang tao na sabi mo nga, like I said a while ago, very ironic na hindi ka nakikipag-away, hindi mo na-experience makipag-away. Pero ngayon, ang pagkakaiba lang is nandito ka sa gitna ng taong nag-aaway naman or naglalaban because this is a sport. How does it feel?
Alam mo, it feels that I have a lot of responsibility.
Correct.
Kasi
Yes.
as a referee, na-realize ko, you're holding number one, the life. The life.
Yes.
Because kapag ka nagkamali ka, baka mawala yung buhay. Which, alam
Yes.
naman natin, may mga
It
boksingerong
happens.
nawalan
Yeah.
ng buhay. Sabi nga nila, one punch, sabihin na natin, you stop the fight, one punch later could mean the life of a fighter, right? And the
Yes,
life of a
correct,
human
correct.
being. And the life of a father, a son, a brother.
Correct.
Diba? So, imagine, Arnel, yung responsibility ko. And I take it by heart. Grabe yan yung
Seriously.
ano ko dyan. Every time I go up the ring, sabi ko, naku Diyos ko, tulungan niyo ako. Nandun kami. Kasi nga, professional nga. Yan eh. Yan eh, hanap buhay ng professional. Di ba? Profession. So, hanap buhay yan ng mga boksingero. And they are the show themselves. Sila yung nag-aanap buhay sila dyan para mag-enjoy yung mga tao at kumita sila para sa pamilya nila. Di ba? So, ngayon,
That is their
at the other
livelihood,
side,
yes.
the other side of that, one punch, if I stop it, one punch later could mean the life. Now, ito na ngayon yung kabalik. The other side of it. Ito na yung dilemma ko. Kasi, sobra naman akong conscious na I would stop it immediately. Mangyayari naman dun, I would stop the fight prematurely. Which is, I will deprive the fighter the chance and the justice na baka makarecover pa siya kasi siya for many months for this fight tapos I will take away his chance dahil natakot ako because of my being takot at being pressured, ititigil ko kahit hindi naman dapat. So I'm taking away again, hindi lang life, holding the person's life, but holding the person's livelihood.
First time I heard about the wisdom of being a referee of a boxing game, I never thought about what you just said a while ago about stopping the fight prematurely. It's because of the safety and the other reason is recovering. Maybe they could still have a chance because they trained about it. I never thought of that. That's a good thing. It's very enlightening that you said that. We're human being. Whenever we see, I'm sorry to say this, whenever we see Manny Pacquiao throwing those 14 combos, we are so happy. But when we see the boxer's face, like what happened to matangkad na kalaban ni Pacquiao or
Mario Barrios,
no, yung sa Texas, ano pangalan? May
Antonio
plaster.
Margarito.
Si Margarito, did you see his face? And then he doesn't want to stop the fight.
Basag yung eye socket. Yeah.
Did you see that? But him personally, he doesn't want to stop the fight. He wants to finish the rounds.
Yeah.
Look what happened. That is
Buhay
the
kasi yan.
consequences of
Ano
being
kasi yan,
stubborn.
Arnel? It's kapag sabi nga ng boxer, sir, lalo na sir, kapag championship, lalo na sir, pag championship, sir, mula sa pagiging mahirap, pag naging champion ako, sir, magbabago yung buhay ng pamilya ko, sir. Pakamatay ko na, sir.
Sabi mo nga livelihood nila yan yung hanap buhay nila eh. Kaya matindi talaga yung ginawa ni Pambansang Kamao. Sa dami ng laban niya na head. Oh my goodness. From the point of view of medical or yung mga blows na inabot niya sa head, We
Yes.
just pray and hope he's gonna be okay in the future.
Yeah,
Dahil sa dami ng
alam mo
tama
Arnel,
niya, 'di ba?
isa ako sa mga nagsasabi talaga na money is really a gift from God to
Mhm,
humanity. Not only to Filipinos, but to humanity. Kasi
mm. To humanity,
malaking ano
yes.
siya eh, malaking, he's a big, sabihin na natin, hindi lang inspiration eh. He's a
Mhm,
big, parang sabihin natin, a critical figure in the world na dumating in our lifetime and we're very lucky.
correct. Mhm. To witness him, 'no? To witness his
Witness
greatness
him,
and
ano yung ano natin, gaano yung kaswerte tayo na nandito tayo,
mhm.
buhay tayo at nanonood tayo sa kanya. Nandito tayo, eh, lifetime within our lifetime. 'Di ba?
Yes, yes, correct,
Parang,
correct.
oh, swerte tayo na we witnessing greatness and hindi lang greatness, an inspiration. The little kids,
Mhm.
and now, hindi na inspiration to the little kids ito, inspiration to the old boys, old people. Kasi ako 47, si Manny 46, binugbog yung
Uh-huh.
30 years old. Hmm? Binugbog niya yung 30 years old, no? For 9 rounds.
Okey,
Nakatabla lang yung
attorney.
30 years old kasi yung last 3 rounds. Ako.
Attorney, hindi ko na tatanungin kung sino nanalo ron. Ayokong magbigay ka ng opinyon mo tungkol do'n. Let it be. Pero kanina natanong ko na, nasagot mo na sa akin, ako na lang nakakaalam. Thank you. Okay, next, I have a next question for you.
Mm,
What does it take to be a world-class referee in boxing?
nako, mahirap yatang sagutin yan kasi
Mm.
nakuha ko yung nagkaroon ako ng first assignment ng boxing refereeing October 3, 2009.
Mm.
And referee ako ng mga local, referee ako ng mga 4-rounder, no? 6-rounder. I earned my dues. Lahat ng assignment na ibigay kasi wala na silang choice. Yung baga, nilagay nila ako sa isang difficult spot na mahihirapan ako but tiniis ko lang. So nag-train ako kahit medyo mataba pa rin ako. Sinubukan ko yung pumupunta ako sa mga gym, nag-i-sparring yung mga
Mhm.
boxer. Tapos kunwari, referee ako, kunwari, ako doon, ikot-ikot ako sa ring. Yun ang mga ginawa ko kasi I had to improvise kasi wala akong footwork. Hindi
Mhm.
man ako. So, talagang siya, from scratch na binigyan akong assignment, 4 rounds, tapos bilang ng assignment. Tapos sabi mo nga, how to become a world class. In the year
Mhm.
2010, I made a very big decision, which a lot of
Ano
people
yan?
may not, at the time, it was very surprising kasi 1 year pa lang, I decided to attend the World Boxing Organization Convention.
Oh, okay.
October 3, 2009 ako unang nag-referee, local. I earned my stripes. Kumbaga, talagang pinilit ko yung sarili ko, nag-train ako sarili ko, tapos experience. 1 year lang after ng 1 year lang after ng first refereeing job ko, I decided to attend the World Boxing Organization International
WBO na.
Convention. WBO na,
See
oo.
that?
Kasi sabi ko, subukan ko lang. Kasi sabi ko, I dare to be great. Sabi ko, I'm not here to just to become mediocre. And nandito na rin lang ako, I will create another dream.
Another dream fulfilled,
Yes.
'di ba? Tama nga, istorya natin eh. Dahil from rejections, but now we're
Mm.
international referee.
Umattend
So how
ako.
do you
Unang convention, 2010, October. Saan? Tanong mo saan?
saan? Where?
Cartagena. Do you know where is that?
Oh, in Colombia.
Yes, Colombia. Colombia. That was my first travel. Naintindihan yung katawan ko kasi first time ko yun na parang gising ako sa gabi. Tulog ako naantok
Jet
ako sa umaga pero kailangan akong magising
jet
sa
lag
umaga
eh.
kasi may training. Kasi ang convention kasi,
Mhm.
Arnel, ang number one talaga na reason bakit nag-a-attend ng convention, is para magkaroon ng training. And sabi ko,
Mhm.
parang kulang yung training ko dito kung local-local lang. So, I would invest in myself, bili akong ticket
Mhm.
from Manila to
Mhm.
Colombia, kung saan-saan ako akong bumiyahe. Tapos, magbayad ako ng hotel. Siyempre, kakain dollars yung peso naman, pero Colombian pesos. So,
Ah.
tapos dollar, siyempre, dadaan ka ng New York, I think, I remember. Tapos,
Oh,
grabe
layo
yung ano
pala
na
nun.
yun, experience na yun, layo.
Ayun, no?
Una, kailangan kong gawin eh. Oh, tapos kailangan mag-training. Training lang kasi yun lang ang gusto ko. Eh, ang problema doon, yung training, umaga, hapon. Eh, dito sa Pilipinas, gabi yun, madaling araw. Naantok ako sa training.
Ano
Pinipilit
ka?
ko na lang. Oo, para lang matuto ako. Oo. Yes, oo. Tapos, nailala ko noon, Arnel, 2010, parang ako lang yung nag-attend na referee sa buong Asia Pacific. 2010, Cartagena, Colombia.
Eh,
So you can enumerate all the countries in Asia Pacific region.
wala.
Ako lang,
Ikaw lang.
ako lang ang referee na umattend sa seminar na yon. So, ewan ko, baka it left a mark in the WBO na si Dan Rex. Ito lang ang nung 2010 sa
Interesado.
Cartagena, Colombia, ito lang ang hindi naman interesado pero ito lang ang pumunta. Factual lang eh, factual.
Aha.
Factual lang naman tayo, which is I don't know na later on sasabihin sa akin na that was a big thing. Kaya daw nila ako ina-assign pala sa
Mm.
mga big fights because yun pala yung reason, which I realized
You
later
went to
na
the
I didn't know.
convention.
Alam mo, hindi ko naman alam na walang mag-attend. Akala ko naman lahat ng tao gustong maging world class eh. Sabi,
Ah,
akala ko naman lahat ng tao gustong maging world class. So, yun yung way ko na maging world class. I invested in myself.
nga.
You could just imagine, Arnel, magkano yung ginastos ko.
You have to spend. That is, you have to invest in yourself.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of a dream again. And arriving and finishing the referee seminar, getting the certification from the WBO and from the associations of boxing commissions, yung ABC. Kasi meron doong exam eh. Yung ABC exam, certification exam yun. Kumbaga pag pumasa ka ng exam,
And
you're already a
I
certified.
am sure, I am sure.
Nako, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko na alam kasi baka mas mahirap na yung exam na yun. Pumasa lang naman. Importante pumasa. Basta pumasa ako ng exam. A judges exam, ABC certification, and referees exam. Alam mo, ABC, ano yan, malaki yan. Kumbaga, pag nakatake ka niyan, medyo that's something else. So, nagulat ako na ganun pala yun. Na parang pumunta ako doon, nag-invest ko sa sarili ko, worth it lahat.
At saka international yan, worldwide.
Yung ininvest ko doon, hindi lang
Mm.
pera, panahon.
Mm.
Kasi 2010, bagong kasal ako noon. Bagong kasal ako. 2010, 2009, June ako to kinasal. August 2010, bagong kasal ako. Iwanan ko yung misis ko para lang umattend ng
Mhm.
convention for 1 week. Tapos yung trabaho ko, niwanan ko dito.
Ah, ah.
Wala. Kumbaga talagang sacrifice yun. Hindi lang yung ginastos ko doon, yung nawala kong income at yung nawala kong buhay. Kumbaga, naputol yung life ko in suspended animation. Di ba? Kasi nawala ako sa Pilipinas eh. 2010 siguro, kontak-kontak lang ng, parang may Facebook na yata
Mhm.
noon. But, Arnel, it was such a big sacrifice. I don't know
Correct.
if you realize how big was that sacrifice was. But looking back, it was the start, it was the realization of my dream.
Yeah, you really have to invest time, knowledge, money, and everything. If you want something big, there's no
Alam mo
such thing
yan.
as instant
Alam mo yan, Arnel. Alam mo
gratification.
yan. Alam mo yan. Ikaw
Yeah,
magsabi
yeah.
sa
It would
akin, di
take
ba?
time.
Sabi sa English nga, Arnel, you tell me. You tell
You tell
me.
me, yes,
Say
yes.
that again, di ba? Sabi nga ng mga Amerikano,
Yeah.
you can say that again.
So just give us like one of your most favorite fight that you were refereeing. The number
Ako,
one fight for you.
mahirap yan, Arnel. Pero subukan ko
Because I
ha.
saw one
Subukan ko.
picture, you're with your Ninito Donaire and you were raising his hand. When was that? And who was his opponent during? that game?
That was a tune-up fight of
Okay.
Donaire. So it was a tune-up. It was not a championship fight. I think it was just
Okay.
with 8 or 10 rounds scheduled fight. It happened in Macau. I think it was sometime in the year 2014. It was a
14.
time when I think Donaire was coming back, trying to
Ah,
come back from a loss. If I'm
okay.
not mistaken, parang after yata nung natalo siya kay Rigondao dyan sa New York.
Oh.
Remember?
Mhm.
Remember that? Radio Hall
Oo,
yata?
napanood
Radio
'yun,
Hall?
oo.
Meron bang Radio Hall dyan? Sa Harlem? Harlem? Oo. Oh, yun. Doon sila naglaban ni Rigondao. I can still remember si Rigondao, Rigo, underdog. Tapos everybody was
Pero
expecting Nonito to wipe him
laka
out.
hindi, ang lakas nung boxer na 'yun. Is
So
he the guy
binugbog si
from Cuba, right?
Cuba. Binugbog si
Yeah,
Nonito
yeah, he was the
Donaire.
guy from Cuba.
So natalo si Nonito noon by decision. Tapos
Bugbog pa.
yung one of his tune-up fights to come back, to get back the confidence, get back the, kasi ano yan eh,
Mm.
cycle yan ng boxer eh. Lalo pag
Mhm.
ganyan na, yung world champion. Tapos si Donito
Mhm.
kasi, tinalo niya si Montiel, tinalo niya si Darcinian. Ang dami niyang tinalo ng mga future Hall of Famers eh. So parang, ano na siya, parang unstoppable force. Tapos parang, easy lang lahat. 'Di ba? Parang pag nung nilabanan niya si Rigondao, sabi nung mga majority of the analysts at saka boxing fans, should be another easy night. Kasi wala
Mhm.
naman yung Rigondao na yan. Something like that. Kasi hindi naman siya ganun kasikat. Just like Montiel, just like Darcinian. Diba? So, yung Rigondao fight was a really devastating loss for Nonito. So, in one of his
Nonito.
tune-up fights, merong isang promotion sa Macau. I was informed that yung Macau casinos was earning more than the Las Vegas casinos in 2014.
Malaking pera
Yes.
palang i-circulate do'n, ano?
Yes. 2014 sa gambling. In fact, sabi nga nila, parang at that time, in 2014, Macau was Las Vegas on steroids, sabi nila. So ang daming
Talaga?
pera. One of the parang manifestations na napakaraming pera ng Macau was sila, yung mga boxing shows na supposed to be sa Las Vegas, dinadala nila sa Macau. Remember sila, Bob Arum, pa nga si Pacquiao sa Macau, 2 beses. Lumaban si Brian Viloria, lumaban sila Milan Melindo, yung mga Pinoy, may mga Chinese. Kumbaga, I can say a lot, but itong Donito Donaire was one of those. Na kalaban niya isang French, 2 rounds lang eh. Nagulat nga yung mami ko eh. Sabi ko, mami, panoorin mo ako kasi baka ito na yung biggest fight ko, a realization of my dream. Sure shot Hall of Famer na yan. Nonito Donaire Jr. Kumbaga, at that time, siguro mga 5-time world champion na rin siya. Di ba? Si Pacquiao, 8-time. Donaire at that time, mga nasa 5-time world. He is the second, for me, he's the second Filipino, the best Filipino boxer in my lifetime after Manny Pacquiao. So sabi ko, realization of a dream. Ito na, second best Filipino boxer of my lifetime. Magre-referee na ako. Kaya lang, na-frustrate. Tumawag yung mami ko after. Sabi niya, anak, grabe naman yan. Biggest fight mo. Kunti lang exposure mo. 2 rounds lang na. Sumuko na yung French. Oo, na-knock-out na yung French. Ayaw na eh. Tinamaan sa katawan. Tapos, gusto ko pa sanang ituloy. Sabi ko, sige pa ituloy. Iniisip, joke lang, no? Joke lang naman yun. Sabi ko sa nanay ko, ma'am, kahit gusto ko pang ituloy yun, ma'am, ayaw na eh. Gusto ko pa sana ng more exposure. Sabi, no, nakakatawa yan. It's a running joke around me and my mom. Kasi sabi niya, hindi ko makakalimutan yung inabangan namin lahat sa bahay kasi nito Donaire yung i-referee mo. Tapos, nagulat kami, 2 rounds tapos na. Parang, anak ko naman, sabi, wala namang exposure masyado sa international stage. So, it was one of my biggest fights. Number 2 number 2 best Filipino fighter in my lifetime. Second only to Manny Pacquiao, no? I'm very proud of that. Ito lang, ang nangyari lang is that yung hindi siya yung nerve-wracking sa akin kasi pag sinabi mong best fight na ano mo, dapat medyo kinakabahan ka. Kasi,
Mhm.
so siguro doon tayo pupunta. Kung sabihin mo, what was the best fight? Alam mo, ang
Mhm.
alala ko, yung pinakamahirap ko was, nag-referee ako sa Australia.
Mhm.
Tapos, syempre, nung nakita ko yung match up at saka yung build up dun sa fight, yung laban na yon Australia, but they timed the fight na Saturday evening sa US kasi main event siya ng pay-per-view sa US.
Oo. Hahabulin niyo.
Big fight
Hahabulin
siya.
niyo yung
Oh,
time
big
ng
fight
US.
siya kasi
Oo.
isipin mo lang, Arnel, pipilitin ng mga Australiano gumising ng maaga at magboxing ng 8
Aha.
ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali.
Ng
Pipilitin
tanghali.
nilang magboxing kasi hindi hindi sila yung audience na hinahabol. Ang
Oo.
audience, ang market na hinahabol
US.
is yung US market kasi
US,
pay-per-view.
oo.
So you could just
Mhm.
imagine the pressure sa isang Pilipino, kagaya ko,
Mhm.
na ako yung magre-referee sa isang World Championship fight,
Mhm.
main event ng isang US pay-per-view, Australia pa yan. Siyempre, alam mo naman tayo,
Yung
Asian
time
tayo,
zone.
maliit. Hindi, time zone is almost the same. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, Asian tayo, Asian looking, maliit. 'Di ba? Pagdating doon,
Aha.
Australiano, malalaki yan eh. Usually
Aha.
mga puti na malalaki. Kumbaga, I will be dwarfed dun sa when I go there. I look
Mhm.
very different. So meaning, I feel small, if you know what I mean,
Mhm.
right? Figuratively and literally, I feel small
Mhm.
when I am
In the ring.
the ring. No, no, not only in the ring, doon sa Australia mismo.
No, dun sa fight na yon. Dun sa fight na yon. What I
Doon,
mean,
doon
yeah.
sa pagdating ko doon at yung build up sa fight.
Ah.
Grabe yung pressure sa
Aha.
akin, Arnel. Grabe yung pressure sa
Ah.
akin kasi paano kung pumalpak ako? It was a fight between an undefeated
Oo.
Australian prospect named Tim Zhu, anak nung
Mhm.
isang legend na Australian din but Russian born na si Kostya Zhu.
Mhm.
Ito yung bloodline ito ng pero prospect pa lang siya, but this is his world championship fight chance at nilabanan niya American former world champion
Mhm.
na ang pangalan ay Tony Harrison,
Ayan. Mhm.
Australiano. Wow, ang laki ng laban. Nalula ako
Mhm.
at nalula ako sa build-up. Kinakabahan talaga ako. So, you could
Aha.
just imagine yung kaba ko. Para bang, aywan ko kung ano yung biggest na kaba mo sa buhay mo. But that was the biggest, yung nerve-wracking experience. Kasi,
Nerve-wracking.
from nag-start ako sa 4 rounds na 30 seconds lang eh. Wala naman palang kaya. This
Ah.
small, short Asian guy being watched around the world, refereeing an Australian with a pedigree of a zoo and an American former world champion, American Tony Harrison. So, paano yan? Paano na si Dan Rex? Binigyan ng
Mhm.
ng chance. Pero mukhang
So
baka
what
hindi
happened?
kayanin. What happened was, when I entered the ring, the lights were too bright. Tell you honestly,
Aha.
hindi ko kaya tong lights na ganito ka bright. Sabi ko,
Ah.
parang overwhelming. Hindi ko kaya yung pressure siguro. Kaya naramdaman
Mhm.
ko talaga. So that was very difficult. Kung that was 2023, that was 2 years ago, Arnel. Recently.
Mhm.
So parang sabi ko, kaya ko ba itong pinasok ko? Grabe talaga.
Mhm.
So that was, and then, nangyari yung kinatatakutan ko. It became a very competitive fight. At mahirap siya. Hindi yung, ang pinipray ko kasi doon, sa totoo lang, Arnel, nung kinakabahan ako, sabi ko, Diyos ko, ano na lang gusto, knock out mo ng isang round lang tapos tulog ba? Yung kagaya nung first fight ko sa Cuneta Astrodome, noong October 2009.
Ah.
Diyos ko, pwede ba na?
Ah.
Easy na lang, yung isang ganun lang tapos may isa sa kanila. Matumba tapos clear na clear, tulog, tapos 1 round lang, tapos ganun lang ako, tapos na. Yun yung, prayer ko. But ang problema, the fight went on very competitive. After 8 rounds, nakita ko sa score, after na, tinignan ko lang yung scorecard. After, I realized later on na parang close yung fight after 8 rounds. Kumbaga, both of them were really landing shots at each other. So ako, as a referee, I knew the fight was close. Kumbaga, after 8 rounds. Tapos, nung 9th round, tinamaan ng malakas si Harrison. Kinakabahan na ako, sabi ko. Iniisip ko na naman, alam mo, grabe yung naglalaro sa isip ko, Arnel, nung nandun ako sa taas ng ring. Bumabalik lahat nung ano ko yung mahirap siya. Yung mix of emotions.
Yeah.
I need to look calm, I need to look relaxed, but deep in my mind and in my heart, pakahirap. Tapos, I need to be focused. Kasi, sabi ko, life and livelihood to World Championship ito Iba na ito. Hindi ito kagaya ng 4 rounds. Hindi ito kagaya ng 6 rounds. World Championship, main event, pay-per-view, USA. So ngayon, sabi ko, na-hurt tinamaan si Harrison. Tagtama ni Harrison, isip ko, ako itigil ko na ba to? Huwag muna. Tinamaan na naman ulit. Tinamaan, na-hurt na si Harrison pero hindi pa natumba. Tapos, naalala ko, parang, nung tinamaan siya, parang napakapit siya sa lubid, Arnel. Nung napakapit siya sa lubid, tinamaan siya ng isang uppercut. Pagtama ng uppercut, muntik siyang matumba, pero hindi pa rin siya natumba. Sabi ko, ititigil ko na ba to or hindi? Hindi ko na alam. Kasi it was a judgment call on my part. Sabi nga nila, parang the biggest difference between a good referee from a great referee is his good judgment. Kumbaga, kailan ko ito titigil? Ngayon na ba? Or baka hintayin kong matumba na? So it was the fight ended up, Team Zoo won via knockout, but without but with controversy. Maraming nag-comment na sabi yata ang comment was sobrang late ko tinigil. Hinintay ko pang matumba si Harrison, baka daw mamatay. So, di naman namatay. So, thankfully, napasalamat ako sa Diyos after that. I came out, okay naman, but maraming nag-criticize. So, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Parang,
Yeah.
yung biggest ko. Yung biggest. Kasi what was the circumstances around.
Yeah. Hindi pala ganun po kadali ang isa maging referee na akala natin pinapahinto. You really have to analyze everything and critical thinking should be expected of you sa mga ganitong encounters because it's a matter of life and death.
And not only that,
mahirap.
it's a livelihood.
It's a livelihood.
Of the boxer
of
and
course,
his family.
It's the life at stake.
Life talaga number 1. Mahirap yun.
Actually, that is my next question for you, pero nasagot mo na How do you stay impartial when emotions and crowd reactions are intense? Ayun na, nasagot mo na yung tanong ko doon. Dahil sa ganung sitwasyon, you don't know what's gonna happen. Actually,
alam mo, dagdagan ko yan, Arnel. How do I become impartial? I just pray. Silently, I make a prayer. Lord, please, bigyan mo ako ng clear mind. Bigyan mo ako ng clear focus. Huwag mo akong bigyan ng parang distraction. Focus lang, bigyan mo lang akong focus. Tapos akin na lang lahat yun. Bigyan mo lang akong calmness. Bigyan mo lang akong guidance. Bigyan mo akong peace. Yun ang ko. Yun yung prayer ko palagi, every before any fight. Bagong fight, nagpipray ako. And mukhang nag-work naman yung prayer ko. Kasi wala pa naman akong parang personal guilt, na parang meron akong pinaburan or may problema yung fight na parang dahil sa akin na malaking problema. Wala pa naman.
Let's go back to being a lawyer now.
Okay.
How did you balance your career as a lawyer with your passion for boxing?
Magandang tanong yan, Arnel, kasi usually ang boxing, di ba weekends? Tama ba ako?
Balancing.
Usually ang boxing
Yes,
weekends, di ba? O di pagtrabaho ako ng Monday to Friday, weekend lang tayo mag-lawyer, mag-referee, mag-judge.
And right now, you're working as a lawyer,
Dito, sa Metro Manila,
Manila. So
Pilipinas.
your practice, you have a practice in the
Yes.
Philippines. You're practicing
Ano,
law.
tapos,
And we're gonna get
sige.
there. We're gonna get
Tuloy mo
there.
lang, iba lang, sige, iba muna, sige.
Yeah. Were
Ano mo?
there any skills from law that help
Mm.
you in refereeing or vice versa?
Ako, yung tibay ng loob. Kasi, alam
Yeah.
mo, Arnel, nung nasa San Beda tayo, naalala mo,
Mm-mm.
ako, probinsyano, medyo pinatibay ang loob ko sa San Beda Law School. Kasi,
Mm-mm.
ang mga professors doon, talagang papatibayin yung loob mo, if you know what I mean. Talagang lahat ng klase ng, hindi na pwedeng sabihin dito eh. Pero lahat ng klase, natanggap ko.
And you
So,
were
ibig
and you were
sabihin, matibay ang loob. Oh, itibay talaga kasi, sabihin natin, mapapahiya ka eh. In front of other people eh. No?
who do you want to say thank you to from the bottom of your heart? This person. Yes. Sometimes we forget them, but in occasions like this, when they open our hearts, you find them inside our hearts.
Good. Na-cover ko na ba lahat ng organic family ko? Kapatid ko, nanay tatay ko, lolo't lola ko on both sides. Tapos, after that, yung wife ko, ngayon, kasama ko, no? Supporting me. Yes, she's there. Through the good and the bad. Yun. I think those are the important. Naku, Arnel, final words. Siguro, sa buhay natin, anything is possible. Basta si Lord nang bahala. Tapos, siguro, ganun lang. We dream, we work hard, we pray, we love. Thank you, Arnel, baby, bro. Yes, bro, salamat at salamat sa mo platform kasi ito lang yung interview ko sa buong buhay ko na parang cover lahat. Wala akong na-miss. Looking back after many years siguro, I will replay this again and look back and kung ano yung sinabi ko rito na kung ano yung siguro pag nagkita tayo ulit kung saan man, kung dyan man o dito man, iti-treasure natin tong conversation na to kasi ang ganda ng mga questions mo, pinaghandaan mo talaga. I really appreciate that kasi I'm sure you spent a lot of time to research and to give me the best questions, the best platform. Tapos alam ko nga nagtatrabaho ka, nagnenegosyo ka, naging-father ka rin. You know, you're a family man also. Alam ko naman ang buhay sa States, napakahirap. Kumbaga, nakita ko ganyan. So, sabi ko, I really appreciate yung mo, yung being, also you're an inspiration, ha? Kasi, pag ikaw nang in-interview, pagdating ng araw, baka maghanap ka ng interviewer na ikaw naman yung nandito sa side na ito. Maganda, iba pala ang feeling, pare, kasi di ko alam na ganun ka pala kagaling. Mas magaling ka pa dun sa mga media personality na nag-interview sa akin. Pinag-aralan mo ng gusto. Ang ganda. I really appreciate it. Maraming salamat talaga, pare. From the bottom of my heart. Grabe talaga. Every good thing has to come to an end, di ba? Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to Why Did You? I hope today's story inspired you and reminded you of the heart and spirit behind every Filipino journey. This podcast is brought to you by RR Food Ventures Corporation, makers of Kuya Arnel's Cooked Sweet Pork Sausage, Kuya Arnel's pork chicharrones, Habit crispy fried chicken skins, and Habit pork cracklings. Technical support and music by Gabby Arrieta. Once again, this is Arnel Arrieta, and you just listened to Why Did You? Until next time!
Classic never tasted this good. Habit pork cracklings delivers that old school crunch with modern flavor. No fluff, just crispy, protein-packed perfection. Hit it up on Amazon and stock up now. Crunchy, bold, irresistible. Habit crispy fried chicken skins brings the heat with real chicken and serious flavor. Low carb, high crunch. Snack smarter, snack habit. Find it now on Amazon.